Hello everyone. It's Melissa Faust from stampwithmelissa.com. Welcome to my Tuesday Night Live video. It is Tuesday, August 19th, 5 p.m. Central Time, which is my local time. And you guys, I was messing with my lights again. So we're going to have to see because I kind of ran out of time. And so I thought I had it good, and then it's something weird with the webcam that I use. When I use like an LED light, it flickers, and it didn't do it, and then all of a sudden it started flickering, and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? So anyway, hopefully I think I got it all fixed right before I got on live. That's how it goes, is you just deal with it right before you have to present. Anyway, hello everyone. As you join me, please leave a comment, say hello, let me know where you're watching from. If you are watching the replay, do also leave a comment. I do go back and look at those later on, so I love to read those after the fact as well. So today we are going to play with the Peaceful Pier stamp set. We are going to have a lot of fun. These are really simple and fun masculine cards. You could use them for really anybody, any occasion, anybody, but they are a little bit more of like a masculine type of theming, I guess. Hi Anne, hi Alicia, hi Mom, hi Joan, hi cutie puppies, I love that. Hi Marva, hi Lisa. Yeah, Lisa, you are on live. I see your comment right now live. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get started here. And I'm going to show you my desktop, so let me see. I think it's all right. I think the lighting's okay. Phew-ta. I actually played, there's like this exposure mode. This is going to be super techy and geeky. There's this exposure mode, and I actually turned it off. It's an auto thing. I turned it off, and then that's what made the lights flicker. And then I remembered my friend Deborah Harrison telling me she was having that issue, and so I was like, turn that off quick. And then all of a sudden everything got so dark, and I was like, dang it. Hi Pam, hello everyone. Hi Teresa, yes, welcome everyone. Okay, so we're playing with Peaceful Pier today. It is a cling mount stamp set, and it's in the annual catalog, so page 96 here. Super duper fun set. It is designed by Kathleen Chapman. She is a $1 Million Achiever with Stampin' Up, so she got to help design a stamp set. And she actually lives in Minnesota, so that's where I am. That's where many of you are. So shout out to Minnesota. And I got to meet her a couple of weeks ago when I was at the Creative Connections event in Medina, Minnesota for demonstrators. So that was really nice. She demonstrated some cards with her stamp set, and that was really a good time. So we are using every single stamp today except one, which is probably my favorite stamp in the whole set. So it's funny that we're not using it, but it's this sentiment right here that says, somebody knows, somebody cares, your name is whispered in somebody's prayers. Beautiful, beautiful sentiment. I'm going to put that on the inside of some of my cards later on when I add that in. And yes, Margaret, I was just about to talk about that. So look at you. You're right on top of it. So this is a cling mount stamp set. There was an announcement made to demonstrators today, and I think some demos posted about it, but I have a full-time job, so I did not get around to posting about it. I know, she was super sweet. I agree, Alicia. But cling mount stamp sets. So Stampin' Up is having a really, not even just Stampin' Up, it's a bunch of stamp companies are having a really hard time acquiring the raw materials for red rubber to make red rubber stamps. And so instead of continuing to make red rubber stamps and later going, uh-oh, we don't have any more and we can't get any more, they have made the really difficult decision. They are going to discontinue red rubber stamps, okay? Starting with the November release. So we do have a release coming up in September, the mini catalog and the September online exclusives. If there's a set in there that is cling mount, it will come cling mount. They have enough to kind of support those product lines. But starting in November, excuse me, we're switching fully to photopolymer. So I actually am not too upset about the change. I know that they make a lot of tough decisions that we know nothing about, right? Like I have no idea what types of sourcing and vendors and all of that information. So I'm not honestly that upset about it. I'm good with that. So, so this is photopolymer is going to be what we carry all of our stamps in. And I'm kind of excited because I honestly prefer stamping with photopolymer anyway. But just keep that in mind. They are going to support red rubber in some of the stamp sets. It sounds like through April of 2026. So in the annual catalog. So for example, Kathleen's set is red rubber. So this will be supported through April. if they run out of red rubber early, then that's going to just, you know, there's nothing they can do about it. They do not have any plans to switch over any red rubber stamps into photopolymer. So just keep that in mind. Along with that, one of the cool techniques with red rubber stamp sets is actually coloring your stamps with Stampin' Write markers. Well, we're getting rid of red rubber. We've got these incredible new Stampin' Blends. I was grabbing one. We have these incredible new Stampin' Blends. Stampin' Up! Has seen a huge decrease in sales for Stampin' Write markers because we're all coloring with blends now. And so these are also being discontinued starting tomorrow, not just this color pack. All of the Stampin' Write markers are going on the last chance list tomorrow, you know, and they're available while supplies last. So you can check those out. Yeah, so those were some big announcements. Those ones, I mean, you just roll with it, right? Like, there's nothing we can do about it. It's not their fault that red rubber is like not existing. I have heard that there are quite a few stamp companies that are actually completely going out of business. They don't have the tools or whatever to do photopolymer stamp sets, and they can't source the red rubber either. So there are several companies that are just going out of business, and I just, yeah. Joan said she'll buy the markers from another company. I honestly don't use Stampin' Write markers very often, but I do like that they offer them in all the colorways. So I would say just stock up on them while we have them. Like, we have them in each of the colors. Just stock up on them now. I know I love the blends too. Blends are not going away. They're staying. And yeah, I don't remember the last time I used a Stampin' Write marker, to be honest. So those are the big news. And then there's also some changes coming to the packaging with the photopolymer stamp set. So that is, I mean, we'll talk about that later. It's not really a big deal. But they're going to get rid of this like DVD case style to match industry. So they're going to start sending them in like these sleeves like we get our dies in. It's a little bit of a different design on the dies, but we're going to start getting them in sleeves like this with that November launch as well. So, but if you are like me and you're like, but I want my DVD case storage, we sell these DVD case inserts or, you know, whatnot. You can probably find some. So, yeah, there's mixed reactions to all of it, as you can imagine. Some are happy, some are sad. There's like 3 different pieces of news. So some are happy about some and sad about others. And it's totally okay to have emotions and feel however you need to feel about it. Yeah. And all I can, no, I might be, some of you might be like, this is ridiculous. But I have not been around long enough to have wooden stamps. I have never owned a wooden stamp set, so I don't have experience from when we switched from no longer having wooden stamp sets. But from talking with other demonstrators, a lot of them have shared that back when that change happened, people thought it was the end of the world, and look, it wasn't. We've got a really awesome way to do that, so to still have stamps that are not on wood blocks. So anyway, it's all good. It's just changes, right? And change is hard. So anywho, what do you say we start stamping? Because that's the fun part, right? That's what we're all here for. So I am going to share with you the cards that we are going to make today. This one is super duper fun. You guys, this one blew up on Facebook. I've started to post reels again, and this one, when I checked this afternoon, had over 80,000 views on it. It is blown up, super duper fun, but you're here, you get to learn how to make it live, so that's exciting. Here's this cute card. I love it. Teresa has several woodblock stamps. Yeah, I never owned one. Actually, I think I was given one once in like a friend of mine when her mom passed. She gave me a bunch of stuff, and I think I got some from her, but I never purchased any. So anyway, I have heard there's awesome sets, and you know what? You buy stamp sets based on the images. I guess that's how I am. I never look at this and then go, well, I'm only gonna buy it if it's red rubber. I'm like, oh, I like that fish, I'm gonna buy it. So anywho, these are the 4 cards we're going to make together tonight. If you would like the card kits for these as a free thank you gift from me, I am offering that this week when you place an order in my online store. Maybe you want to pick up some Stampin' Write markers before they, you know, retire and go to bed forever, or whatever you want to order. If you can order the Peaceful Pier stamp set, you can order Simply Said. The Simply Said stamp set is a really great staple for like anything. You can pair it with anything. So you can see I am a sucker for a skinny happy birthday. I love like a thin happy birthday that I can add onto any type of card. And so that's why I pulled out this set for some of our cards this week as well. Yeah, I know. Lisa said sometimes she doesn't know if it's red rubber or not. I know. I don't know till I open it. Oh, that's awesome, Marva. She has everything. Yes. Oh, thank you, everyone. Okay, so I think I caught up on all of those. I'll go back later too if I miss a question or something live. I will go back and look at comments later on to make sure I've answered everything. But anywho, if you would like the card kits for these cards, I am offering them as a free thank you gift when you place an order with me in my online store this week. So $50 order before tax and shipping and after any Stampin' Rewards are applied. You'll get these 4 card kits as a thank you gift from me. So they will go in the mail next Tuesday, so before I leave on a little trip, and you'll have them to do some creating. So let's go ahead. We are going to take a look. Oh, I always forget to mention this. If you are interested in the supply list, in the description of this video, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, there is a little link there that will take you to the supply list. What that does, that's the only good way I've found to share this, it actually adds every item that I recommend or that I've used. It adds it to your Stampin' Up! Card. Don't get like, oh my gosh, my total jumped from 0 to a lot, right? Just take out anything that you're not planning on purchasing or that you already own. And that's a good way to just, add what you need to your kit and make sure you have, or to your order and make sure you have what you need for these cards. So, Lisa, you're cracking me up. Okay, so we are going to start with this card. It is super cool. It opens like this. This panel right here is actually glued down. So this one is actually quite simple to make. And we are going to go ahead. I'm going to walk you through this. By the way, if you do place the order for the Peaceful Pier class to go, you are also going to get a PDF that has pictures, measurements, instructions, and supplies on there as well, okay? Okay, so for this one, we've got a basic black card base, and this is hot dog style. Yes, it could be. Actually, Joan, what's funny about this is I showed my dad the reel I made on this, and he said, oh, are you making a Christmas card? Is that a Christmas tree? And I said, no, but I could remake this for Christmas. You're going to have a piece of the Weekend Adventures DSP. Did you miss this DSP in the annual catalog like I did? Uh-huh. Yeah, I sure did. I did not know this existed until like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. But super duper cute DSP. You're going to have a piece of Cajun Craze that is embossed with the Birchwood embossing folder for you, just a little strip here. You're going to have a basic white circle die cut from the Spotlight on Nature dies, and you're going to have a crumb cake strip for your sentiment. So let's go ahead. I know I usually like to start with stamping, but for this one, I think I'm actually going to start with the assembly because I'm really excited to show you. Okay, so here's our card base. It's 4 1/4 by 11. It's scored in half at 5 1/2. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab our trimmer. And what I'm going to do is take the right side of my card and scooch that all the way over to the 1 inch mark here on the right side of my trimmer. So here is the gutter, right? You can cut all the way over here up to 12 inches, but up to 1 1/2 inches, you can also cut to this side. I like to use, when I have, anything that's under 1 1/2 inches, I like to use the right side of my trimmer because there's this little, like, I don't know, lip here on the trimmer that holds this, versus if you did it over here, it's a lot easier to accidentally be crooked. You see that space at the top? So I am going to do my cut on the right side. If you wanted to, you could actually switch this to the left side. Let me scooch this just so you can see more of the trimmer. So I'm going to take my basic black card base. I'm scooting that all the way to the 1 inch mark. And then we're actually going to take our cutting blade. I've got my score line right here. It's not picking up super duper great on video, but it's right here by my thumb. And what I'm going to do, there's a little notch on the trimmer blade. That's going to tell me, or right here on the, I don't know, the little trimmer handle, I guess. That's going to tell me right where the point of the blade is, okay? So I'm going to get my head over this just so I can see, but I'm lining up that little notch with my score line. And just go ahead and press that in. And then we're going to cut all the way down. And we have just cut the front of our card base, okay? So you can see we've got these two, it's like legs, I don't know. So we've got those two pieces there. So then you can go ahead and fold and burnish your card base. Now, because this is a skinny layer, it's going to be really easy to accidentally adhere like this, right? Maybe not quite that dramatic, but for video's sake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my seal, keep my card base closed here, and I'm just going to run a line of seal down. This is the inside of the card, okay? Because we're going to glue this flap down. Now, before you press down, I just like to make sure that it's actually straight, just to make sure. And the easiest way I do that is to actually close it and then bump my finger up on the bottom to make sure that it's snug, okay? And press that guy down. And then this left-hand panel will open while the right-hand side stays down, okay? Now, for the class to go and for my card today, I don't have a piece for the center or for the inside of the card. You can absolutely cut one of those. 3 by 5 1/4 will do the trick for that, okay? All right, so let's take that Cajun Craze strip here then, the emboss strip, and I just add a line of seal, and this is gonna go right on that basic black. Now, again, it might be kind of hard to see on the video, but I can see where my cut is to make sure. Oh wow, and then I glue it down. I'm like, I can see where it is to make sure it's center, and then I stick it down and it's not center. But it's okay, we fixed it. All right, and then we're gonna take that DSP. You could use either side of this. It's so pretty. I love the buffalo check on this. It's such a fun pack, especially if you like camping. I'm more of a glamper myself, but I have tent camped before. All right, and then that gets glued to that front section like so. And you're gonna pretend like I adhered that on straight. I totally didn't, but it's because we were having fun and I was distracted. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our stamping now. I'm going to grab my messy scrap paper. We are going to stamp the tree, and the reason I have the messy scrap paper is because it's going to go a little bit off our circle here. So I've got my Tuxedo Black Memento ink. I love too that this card in particular like has nothing to do with fishing, right? So maybe you have like, I don't know, a carpenter or a woodsy kind of person in your life who like this card would be really great for, and you don't have to have anything about fishing on here. So I really like that. Oh, you know what? We want to stamp our sentiment too. So I've got that crumb cake piece. Open that Tuxedo Black back up, and then I've got the Happy Birthday from Simply Said. And look, it's photopolymer, so I can make sure I stamp it straight. Woohoo! And stamp that down, okay? All right, close this guy up. Scoot that out of the way. We'll cut that down with our trimmer, and then we're going to do some coloring. So we've got Old Olive, and I am going to use a little bit of crumb cake. I think I forgot to put crumb cake in the PDF, but I am going to use a little bit of crumb cake as well to color. So we've kind of got like a pine tree, and then I'm not really that great with like tree names. We've got a pine tree and a non-pine tree. The taller tree, I don't know what. I suppose it could be any kind of tree you want it to be. Let's call it an oak tree. I don't know. Or an ash tree. I don't know. Am I doing good with my names? I think so. Anywho, so I'm coloring in the pine tree with the dark Old Olive, and then just, you know, doing some scribbles here. And the thing about this stamp too is it's not closed lines. So you really can just have fun with it. Color wherever you want to color. You know, that's always a good time. And then I just go in these little leafy sections here, and we'll go ahead and just color in the rest of the leaves. And even though there's like no stamped image there, you know, I just wanted to go there a little bit. They kind of, for this tree set, or the tree stamp, it kind of gives you like a guideline of where to go, but you really can just, you know, if you struggle to color outside the lines, this one might be hard for you. Except, I don't know, I struggle to color outside the lines sometimes, and this is like kind of therapeutic because I can just go wherever I want to go. There's no rules, right? It's just a tool, not a rule. I heard somebody say that the other day, and I was like, that's a really good saying. I got to put that in my back pocket. Okay, so then we've got a couple more tiny little palm trees down here and some shrubs. So I'm just coloring all of that in with the light Old Olive. You could use any green for this. And then we're going to color. It's kind of a fun noise. We're going to color on like the grass area, which is going to go on that fun little stitched section of our die. And just get that all colored in. Like so. And if you don't like to color, this is an easy one, I think. Or you could stamp it. It's definitely not a weeping willow. I think that's true. You can maybe die cut out or punch out a circle that's maybe like, you know, an Old Olive circle, and then just stamp your tree in the same color ink. Or maybe you do like an Old Olive circle and you stamp it in a Mossy Meadow circle. I don't know. Possibilities are endless, right? Okay, so we've got that all colored in. And then I'm going to grab my trimmer back out so that we can just trim our sentiment here. Okay. Ooh, that's a little too close. I just kind of eyeball this. I don't really measure it. If I had to guess, I would say that this is, what, 1, 2, I don't know, like 5/16. So you can tell, no measuring done on that. But anywho, the edge of the paper plate, it does, yeah, Alicia's really good at that. We had that one embossing folder, I can't remember the name of it now, but she said it's the paper towel embossing folder. So that's probably why I can't remember the name, because it's the paper towel folder. Okay, Pine Tree Side, which, because Stampin' Blends are alcohol markers, they do bleed. I can see the pine tree right here, right? So I'm just going to make sure that I don't put any dimensionals past that. We don't want anything to stick on the right-hand side, right? When this lifts up, we don't want anything to keep it stuck down. So I am just avoiding any adhesive over there. You can even put your fingers there just to make sure. And then we'll go ahead and place this down onto, it's pretty much in the center of the card, but you could really just offset it wherever you'd like. Let me grab some mini dimensionals here. We're going to add a couple of mini dimensionals. Now these I'm going to add more so like in the center of the sentiment, because I don't want to have to worry about, like, I don't want to do just one and then do them on the sides, because you can't do one on the right side because of this Cajun Craze area. Anywho, you know what I mean. To each their own. Put your dimensionals on wherever you want to put your dimensionals on. You can put it on everywhere if you want. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and stick this down to the bottom. That's a little crooked, right? Peel it up, make it a little straighter. That looks better. Okay, so there we go. And then we're going to embellish this one with the neutral matte dots. You can see how much I love these embellishments. They're so good. We've got these beige colored ones here, so I'm going to add a couple of those. This one also, it's got white, black, beige, and this is like a pecan pie color. I use these with the popcorn set as kernels. I thought they looked like kernels. It was so cute. Anyway, all right, so there is our first card. Look at how easy that fun fold comes together. Super, super easy to mix it up with some other sets as well. You can have a lot of fun with that one. And it's just something a little bit different, right? Just a little switcheroo from the normal. All right, so here is our second card. Let's celebrate. I thought this one would be really fun for, I have a lot of uncles who are retiring, uncles and aunts who are in that retirement age. So I thought this would be really good for that. Or you could use it as a birthday card, or, you know, any type of celebratory card. So let's take a look. This one, we've got a basic beige card base. We've got a basic beige layer. I didn't think that that birch embossing folder got enough love on the first card, so we've got a whole panel of it for this one. That'll be embossed for you. You're going to have a Night of Navy rectangle. You're going to have a basic white rectangle to stamp on, and then you're going to have a Night of Navy strip to heat emboss your sentiment. I did go ahead and heat emboss this ahead of time, but you will get that strip to do that with some white embossing powder, okay? All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to grab that messy scrap paper back out just in case. We're going to start with stamping. We have got our tuxedo black memento ink pad here. And I've got my dock scene. I thought this was so cute. So fun. And Kathleen said that she modeled this off of her old cabin. I don't think she has it anymore. She presented right after I did, so I was listening to her while I was setting up my display board. But I believe she said that they don't have their cabin anymore, but she just wanted to kind of, you know, give it a little love. So anywho, I thought that was sweet. So, all right, let's go ahead. We're going to color this. I'm going to leave the messy scrap paper in because, you know, things can get messy. We've got Old Olive, Crumb Cake. So those we used on the first card, and then we're going to use a little bit of Balmy Blue for our water. So actually, I want to start with the dock. So we're going to start with Crumb Cake. And I've got my dark crumb cake, and we've got these little, you know, the planks on the dock. And okay, so the grasses grow over. You guys, this set is like, do what you want to do. It's going to be a lot of fun, okay? So we're just going to do a little bit of that, a little bit of this, all of that good stuff. And then I'm going to color. And I'm going to color the whole dock. Even though the grass is there, when we go back in with the Old Olive is darker than the crumb cake is. So it will still show up, and it will still be pretty. And my dock ends right there, but I didn't stamp all the way to the edge, so I just, you know, made the dock continue a little bit. There's so much fun, like, art happening in here. So many beautiful images. Nobody's gonna look and say, you colored in, you extended the dock. All right, and then don't forget the little posts here with the light crumb cake. Beautiful. Okay, and then let me see. I think we are going to do the old olive next. So I'm going to take that dark old olive, and just a couple of these, I'm just going to decide that they get to be dark. You know, a good smattering, but otherwise we're going to make some color like the rest in with the light old olive. Same thing here. This is going to cross into the water, and it's all right. It's kind of like someone mentioned that they liked my like faux watercoloring with this, and I didn't try to do that, but it really does. Oh, look at Alicia just said it too. It's a great set for watercoloring. Yes, it is. And I think it's kind of fun too with the blends because it almost kind of looks like you did watercolor because there is no distinct end to your lines. Right? So you can see how I'm just kind of scribbling, and I'm just making sure any of these little cattails or whatever these are, you know, the weeds. Cattail sounds prettier than a weed. Any of those, I'm just making sure if they're taller that they just have some of that green with them. Just to add that color in. But down here, like there's so many of them, just scribble, just color, right? All right, and then I just extend kind of that ground again. Oops. That's why you use your messy scrap paper, because sometimes you color off the edge of the paper. Okay, we'll go a little slower around the edge. Okay. Right? Super cute. And then we'll finish this off with some of our water. Now, there are some ripples in the water, so I'm going to do those with the dark balmy blue. And I'm just doing the straight line, right? Because we're going to take that light balmy blue to blend in the color, and it's going to look so good. And you're just going to see that subtle difference in the water. So you can see I'm going along that outer edge first because I intentionally wanted to not color the rest. Like, I don't want to color all this space. I do love coloring, but no. Okay, so we're going to color in under the dock here. If you have any open areas, right, you can mix in a little bit with the grasses just to help that color kind of carry over. Just like that. Look how pretty that is. Oh, so pretty. I love that. And then you can, you know, if you're like, oh, I don't love the water like that, well, just take it and extend it out, right? Because these are blends. It's going to dry together. Cute. Just like that. Okay, so we've got that piece done. Let's go ahead and assemble our card. So we are going to take that birchwood embossed basic beige layer here. Add lots of adhesive because it's an embossed piece. And when you go over a textured piece, sometimes, especially, I'll find my seal will gum up a little bit. So I just like to, you know, clean it out and wipe it on the card. Okay, and then we're going to add this to the card front. I've got my score line here where my left hand is. So I'm just making sure that my base is lined up there. And then we'll press that down because this is going to cover the whole card front. Where's my bone folder? Here it is. I was like, where the heck did it go? Okay, burnish that guy there. Add some seal to the back of our basic white piece. Layer this onto the Night of Navy. I love this mat. It really just helps that image to pop out, almost like it's a picture frame, right? And then when you add that heat embossed sentiment on the Night of Navy strip, oh, it's just so nice. It just I just love adding a mat to my images because it just really accelerates them. Not all of the time. I don't do it all of the time, but most of the time I do. And most of the time I love it. Okay, every time I do it, I love it. Oh, did you see how I had that so straight and then I dropped it and then it went wherever it wanted to go. Okay, so let's take our sentiment then. This is upside down. I'm going to add a little bit of seal on the back, and then before I do anything else, I am going to pick that up and just roll that. When I trimmed this out after I heat embossed the sentiment, it was a little bit skinnier than the length or the width of your seal. And I'm going to grab some linen thread. I don't know, that looks like 10-ish inches to me. Have you guys seen those videos, like reels or whatever, where they'll go up to someone and they'll say, okay, measure 3 inches or what, and then they have to pull the tape measure and see how close they got. I feel like I could do, all of us crafters, like I feel like we could do pretty good at that. Okay, so I've got my linen thread here, and we're just gonna kind of loop this around on the back side of our sentiment. So it's a circle, but it's not like a circle, you know, like it doesn't need to be perfect. It's just kind of loopy, and I didn't mind if the tail end showed on the other side. So that looks pretty good to me. Just like that, and we'll stick that one down. Okay, and then we're gonna take some dimensionals and we're gonna add these. Now, whichever side hangs off of our stamped piece, we'll need to double stack dimensionals. I just don't know which side. Okay, it's over here. So we are gonna double stack because our stamped piece is already up on dimensionals. So that's a level 1. We want this to go to a level 2. So on that left-hand side, we need to add another dimensional, double stack it, so that it is level. Okay. All right, so we'll tack this down here. And you can kind of feel, like, I can feel that dimensional is catching now, so I know that I can't go over here, right? So you can kind of play with that, and then I'm like, all right, it's there, and I'm just going to scoot over to the left a little more. Stick that down. I love the linen thread look under there. It just adds a little bit extra. Yeah, it is like fishing line. That's what I intended. Alicia's got my back because I was like, yeah, that's what I meant. All right, we are going to embellish this one. These are the opal rounds. They actually debuted with that citrus set back in last year's annual catalog. But the embellishments stuck around and I love them. I think they're cute. So we added a couple of those navy ones there to pull out our sentiment and our rectangle. And there is our second card. How fun is that one? This one looks like a little bit more of a bow. This one's a little more of a circle. So you can see, you just have fun with it and kind of mix and match that wherever you'd like, okay? All right, let's go on to card number 3, which is this beautiful card right here. So cute, so cute. So simple for this one as well. So let's grab our card kit. By the way, I just have to say this now because I don't know if I'll remember later. Our 4th card I cased from somebody, and whoever I cased it from, the name is gone. I don't remember who I cased it from, but it'll be in my blog post. Not this one, but the other one. Anywho. All right, we've got a thick basic white card base. We've got a basic white layer. We've got a balmy blue layer that we are going to do some stamping on. We've got a Misty Moonlight circle that was die cut from the Stylish Shapes dies. Oh, I might have missed a comment. Let me look at that really, really quick. Okay, I think, I don't see, okay, I think we're good. All right, and then we've got a Night of Navy strip here, and we've got a strip of basic white for our sentiment. So let's go ahead and start with stamping. This card is really fun. It's a bit monochromatic, but we've got, you know, balmy blue, we've got Misty Moonlight, and we've got Night of Navy. So lots of blues in this card. We're going to start with balmy blue and our fishes. How cute are the fishes, right? And you know what? I'm going to start with this one, this little floaty guy. And Kathleen had mentioned that she was really pushing for some Northwoods style fish with this set. So she wanted something that wasn't salmon. And so I'm not sure exactly what type of fish these are supposed to be, but you know, maybe trout, maybe crappies, maybe sunnies, who knows? You might know. If you know, you can tell us. But anywho, I am just stamping these to create a little bit of a background. Now, you can tell the fish do go in a certain direction, but if I use that tail, I can get that tail just right there, okay? And maybe one more right here. That looks pretty good to me. So we will do that. Close up our balmy blue ink pad. And then I'm going to pull in our Misty Moonlight circle. I also need to grab my chamois because we are going to stamp our dock image, but this time we're going to stamp it in Night of Navy. And last time we stamped it in our tuxedo black. So I want to clean that off. And I need to clean my chamois. It's dry in some spots. But you know what I do? I just flip it over. I don't know why that seems to work for me. I think it's like a mental thing. It's a walleye and a crappie. A crappie. Yeah, okay. It's a walleye. All right, we are going to take our Night of Navy then and ink up that dock scene. and stamp this down. So again, if you don't like coloring, this is a really great alternative to that to still get a really fun image with your stamp set, right? So we've got that guy. And then last but not least, where is my little, uh-oh, did I lose it? Where's my little basic white strip? Here it is. Found it. We are going to stamp our sentiment. Now this one does come from the Peaceful Pier stamp set. It says, thinking of you today. I need to get my head over this because it is not photopolymer, so I need to make sure I can see that. And I just stamped that in Night of Navy. So our first two cards, both of those sentiments came from Simply Said, and for our last two cards, both of the sentiments are going to come from Peaceful Pier. I don't know how. That is like almost perfectly centered. I'm not going to trim that out because I feel like I would jinx something. Okay, so let's take that balmy blue layer here. We are going to add some seal and layer this on the left-hand side of that basic white layer, okay? Just like so. And then I'm going to grab my silicone mat just in case of messes. And on the very edge of the balmy blue layer, the one that's more towards the center of the card, I'm just going to do a little thin strip of glue. And I am using liquid glue for this one because I'm doing it directly on our finished layer. And our little Night of Navy strip is only 1/4 inch, so it would definitely, I mean, it's definitely thinner than the width of the seal, right, the tape. And then we'll just lay this down and tack that down. And I intentionally am going to give you a bigger piece of the Night of Navy just because I find it easier. You know, everybody makes little mistakes, so if the measurement's slightly off, I don't want it to be too short. And then it's a lot easier to just kind of trim off the excess. So just keep that in mind. So we'll just trim and trim. And then you can do whatever you'd like with those. I'm going to recycle mine. All right, so flip this guy over and we're going to add some dimensionals to the back. And because it's a whole like kind of big-ish panel that's raised, we're going to be really generous with our dimensionals. I'm going to go for 8 here. Right? We've got like our corners and our diamond. All right, peel off all of those backings. Come here, buddy. There we go. And then we're going to add this to the center of our card front. Oh, that poor fish's head got covered. Oh well. Okay, and then we are going to burnish. Flip this guy over. Then we're going to add dimensionals to our Misty Moonlight circle. And this guy's going to peek over. You can kind of decide if you want this to be like fully centered. I'm going to push mine over a little bit so I can see a little more of the fish. So I'm going to go kind of down here like so. But it's definitely like just preference, whatever you prefer. Okay, and then we're going to take our sentiment here. And on the right-hand side, we're going to single dimensional. On the left-hand side, we're going to double stack our dimensionals here. Okay, so don't forget to peel off the backing when you go to double stack them, okay? Ask me how I know. All right, and then we're going to add this on. We've got kind of like the watery blank area over here. We're going to add this on over here, and you can pull it in as far as you'd like. Like so. And finish this one off. I just had too much fun with those opal rounds. We're going to use the clear ones this time. They've got a little bit of a glitter to them, but honestly, they're not too bad. So I think this still is good for a masculine card there. So there is our third card. What do you think of that one? Super cute. Super simple. Easy to switch out those colors. Of course, blue is water, right? And so, yeah, I know. And the glue makes an appearance. Yeah. I actually think that might be the only card it's making an appearance on for today's video. So, anywho. All right, here is card number 4. I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't used the boy. We have to use the fishing boy. I love him. He's so cute. All right, so we have got a thick basic white card base. We have got a piece here. Uh-oh, I forgot the name. I think it's Everyday Happiness. Everyday You and Me. I think it's Everyday Happiness is the name of the DSP. There are a lot of great kind of Lost Lagoon patterns. So you might get this pattern here, or you might get the gingham here. So I wanted to show you the 2 different patterns here. So we've got that. You're going to get a couple of strips of cardstock. So we've got Lost Lagoon, We've got Mossy Meadow and we've got Pool Party, and I lied because I'll probably, no, I'll use Seal on this just because. We've got a basic white strip here. You can see mine's not so pretty on this side, but that's okay because it's going to get covered or cut or who knows. We've got that for our sentiment. We've got a Mossy Meadow circle die cut from the Spotlight on Nature dies. I love that set. And you're going to have a basic white circle that was punched from the 2 3/8 inch circle punch. So let's start with stamping because it's the best place to start. We're going to start with our sentiment here. And our Mossy Meadow ink pad, I wanted it to match our circle. We're going to use the sentiment that says just because. Okay, so ink that guy up. And I think my stamp is pretty straight, so fingers crossed. Yeah, that looks good. You know, you just never know sometimes, right? Right. That's the name. Is it Everyday Happiness? I think so. I think it is. Okay, so we've got our sentiment. We'll trim that out in a second, and then we're going to go ahead and pull in our punched circle and our Tuxedo Black Memento ink. Okay. All right, I've got my fishing boy here. The fishing kid. I don't know, this could be an adult, I guess. I kind of think it's a boy. She said that she modeled it after her nephew, so that might be why. And then we've got this little grassy image, and I thought that that would look nice, so we're going to stamp a couple of those as well. Okay, just like so, and then we can go ahead and color. All right, so for this one, we've got our Balmy Blue, our Old Olive, and our crumb cake, which we've used previously, but we're also going to add in the bronze and ivory and Cajun craze. So I think I'm just going to start, I'm going to start from the bottom, work my way up to the top, start with Cajun craze here. So I've got the dark Cajun craze, and we are going to start, look at the difference, right, from this to that. Wow. We are going to start with his little waders here, his little boots. And I'm going to color those in with the dark Cajun craze. I love with the blends too, you get those two tones in the same color family, right? Or the same colorway. So we've got the Cajun craze, but you've got light and dark. So you can blend the color, or you can use them standalone and you get kind of like two different shades, right? We're going to use the light one here on the fish because he caught a fish. You can just see like there's a little bit of a difference there in just the intensity of the color, right? Okay, I'm going to use ivory as the skin tone. You can use lots of different things for the skin tone. This is just what I am choosing. Okay, so we've got legs, and then you got to kind of watch too, because underneath the chair, right, we've got his little hand right here. We've got the arm and the face. Okay, so it's not a lot, but I was like, what is that thing? And I was like, oh, it's his hand. You know, sometimes you just don't know. All right, and then we've got the bronze, and I'm going to use bronze for the shirt. He is wearing overalls, so I'm going to skip over that section. Okay, and then there's this little camping shirt, or camping chair, right? And his shirt, you can see through the little camping chair. I like to use the bullet tip end here, the fine tip end, when I color anyway, but it especially comes in handy for this, just so you know. All right, then we've got crumb cake. With dark crumb cake, we are going to do like the, what would usually be like the metal part of the chair. I don't know what you want to call it, like the chair stand? I don't know. Anyway. So go ahead, and I'm not worrying if I go out of the lines a little bit because this set is very forgiving. Okay, and then up here on the upper part. Like so. And then we've got our light crumb cake. And we are going to do the back, like the fabric part of the chair. Okay, and his hat. Oops, I forgot parts of the chair. Yeah, that happened to me last time too. I was like, what are those? Oh, chair. Okay, pull back in that dark crumb cake real quick. These guys here that connect the upper to the lower. Don't forget about those. Okay. We've got those, and then we've got our mossy, or not our Mossy Meadow, our Old Olive. So I'm going to use the dark to do the grasses. Okay. And then we'll use the light to color in the ground. And this here, I'm just kind of making my own ground. I know that his chair is going to be sitting on the ground, right? It's not going to be in the water, hopefully. It's not in the water. You never know, though. So I just kind of create my own ground and just color in the rest with the old olive, the light old olive. And I'm probably going to go through part of this chair as well, right? So just kind of making it level so it's a little bit more realistic. Okay, and then we've got our balmy blue. So for balmy blue, we're going to use dark balmy blue on the overalls. Okay. And then we've got the little straps up here. And then I'm just going to add in, you know, a couple of little lines here of the dark balmy blue, nothing fancy. And color in the rest with the light balmy blue. And I'm not doing like the whole area. I think like it kind of gets the point across, right? You can picture the scene without having to like color the sky or the rest of like the whole circle blue. So we just kind of want to create this scene, but we don't have to go into too much detail, which is good. Unless you want to, you obviously can. Pull out your blending brush and add some color. That would be really pretty. Just like that. If you are into masking, you could do some masking as well with it. Like mask the boy image and then blend on color. That would look really pretty too. So there's that. Let's go ahead and trim out our sentiment here. So, oh, I am a little crooked. I thought I was so on, but that's okay. All right, so we are going to just trim this. Oops. And I just kind of make sure that it looks straight with my grid lines. That is about, what, 7/16 thick. And it totally wasn't straight with the grid lines, but I think it'll be okay. All right, so on the right-hand edge, I am just going to slightly angle cut. And the left-hand edge, we're just going to cut off a portion, but I don't want to cut off too much because I want it to tuck in under the basic white circle. And I want to make sure that, you know, you don't have that stark end of your, or edge of your piece there. So let's go ahead. We'll take our DSP and add some seal to the back. This side would be pretty too, huh? I love these colors together. Lost Lagoon and Pool Party and Pretty Peacock go really well together, but I subbed out Pretty Peacock for Mossy Meadow. Oh, it's so cute. All right, fold and burnish. And then we're going to take these little strips here, and I'm just going to use my scissors, my snips, just to angle cut the end, if I can pick them up. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to do varying angle cut edges here. Like I want this one to be a little deeper. And then Pool Party, I don't really want an angle, but it's too long. So I'm just going to cut off part of the end there, okay? All right, let me get all those little scrappy pieces, and we're going to adhere these to the card. So add some seal to Lost Lagoon and Mossy Meadow, and then we're going to add some to Pool Party as well, but it is a little bit thinner. So we're going to do, you know, like this. And this is just so I don't have to use glue, because I just prefer my tape. Okay, and then we can tack these down. So I'm going to go ahead and put my Lost Lagoon piece down. If you would like to measure out your strips as well, you can absolutely do that. Okay, we've got our Mossy Meadow. And then we've got this fun Pool Party piece that I'm going to kind of put over those, okay? All right, so we've got those added. Let's go ahead and add some dimensionals to... Oh, come here, buddy. It did not want to come. These ones are super sticky. Add some dimensionals to that Mossy Meadow circle. Peel off the backings. And then this is going to go on the center of our card front. Like so. Okay. And then we're going to take our circle here and add some dimensionals. Peel off the backings. And this is going to go centered onto that circle. I'm going to get my head over this just to make sure. Oh, make sure it's straight too. As straight as you want it to be, right? And then this is actually going to go on a level 1. So this left-hand edge is going to sneak under, okay? So I just want to add a dimensional over on that right-hand side. And then I'm going to put a little bit of seal on that left-hand side so that it can stick down to that Mossy Meadow circle, okay? and just feed this under. And this one's nice because you can raise it, you can lower it, you can really put it wherever it looks best to you. So I'm going to go right about here. Just like so. Now for this one, I didn't use any embellishments, but I did pull out this Lost Lagoon cording. Now this is on the last chance list, and I meant to check before I came on live to see if it had actually sold out. So I do apologize if it did sell out, but I just wanted to use this one more time before it officially retired because it's pretty. And it's different. It's just a different type of twine because it's not twine, it's cording. So, all right, I've tied my cute little bow. Go ahead and just trim off the ends here at whatever length you want. It is a little bit thicker because it is that cording. Okay, grab our glue dot, stick the knot on the dot, and then I just like to use my snips or my take your pick tool or something to pick that up and stick it down on the card. This bow is a little funky, so let's just feed that through. It's a little twisted. Okay, it looks better-ish. It's a little twisted, but you know what? The recipient's not going to be like, my bow's twisted. They're going to be like, oh, this is such a nice card that you colored for me. All right, and there is card number 4. What do you think of that one? See this bow? Now that's going to bug me. It goes down like this. You could also glue it down. Just say, it's glued. It's good. All right, let me bring in all 4 of our cards that we made together today. Let's see if I can get them all in a line across here. If they'll fit. I'm not sure because I have 2 landscape. Oh yeah, they do. There we go. So those are the 4 cards. It's still on last chance. Oh, thanks, Anne. Thanks for checking for me. Yeah, so as a reminder, if you would like these card kits to make these cards at home, I'm happy to send that to you as a free thank you gift from me when you place an order with me this week. $50 or more before tax and shipping, and after any Stampin' Rewards are applied, you'll get the card kits just like I showed during tonight's video when I was pulling them out of the envelopes. That's similar to what you will have. And yeah, they're super cute. Incredible Crafters, you can look for the PDF for this class next week. Otherwise, yeah, it's a good one. Okay, so let me come full screen so you can see my face, and let me just make sure. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Alicia. Thanks, Lisa and Joan. Oh, thanks, everyone. You're so kind. Oh, Anne has a tie. Cards 4 and 2 are her favorite. The landscape ones, huh, Anne? Too funny. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Just a quick reminder for next week's schedule. Next week is a little bit different because it is a craft along week, which means you're not getting just 1 video, you're getting 4. So super excited for that. You guys are all so sweet. Thank you so much. Okay, so next week, Tuesday, August 26th is video number 1. That will go live at 5 p.m. Central. Wednesday we'll have video 2, Thursday video 3, and Friday video 4. So every night next week, Tuesday through Friday, a new video will be out at 5 p.m. Central Time. Now, most of the videos are going to be recorded. I do leave on Wednesday morning. I'm going to Disney World for a couple of days because I went in May, and you know, yeah, I don't have any words. I'm a sucker for booking trips, and I wanted to go, so I'm going. Anywho, so those videos will be recorded, but they're going to be awesome. If you ordered a craft along kit, those went in the mail today. They did actually sell out on Sunday, so I don't have any additional kits. And yeah, that was awesome to sell those out, but those are going to hopefully be in your mailbox before we start on Tuesday. If they're not, no worries. You can make them later. And what else do I have to tell you? I think that's pretty much it. I am super excited. Oh, also, if you requested a mini catalog from me, those shipped today as well. So thank you so much. I will have a great time. I'm really looking forward to it. The purpose of the trip is to go for the Halloween party, which people are like, Halloween, it's August, right? And I'm like, okay, so you guys are my people. You're my crafter people. You know, we're working on Halloween cards already. We're working on 3D things and banners and whatnot. It's Halloween season, like it's here. So I'm like, you haven't been like into Halloween for the last month? I can't comprehend that. So anyway. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again next week for the craft along videos. It's 2 cards a night, just so you know. And it is all fun folds, so super duper exciting. And yeah, I hope you're gonna learn some new fun folds. You might see some tried and true favorites, maybe some you've done before, and hopefully there's at least one that is brand new to you. So, anywho, all right. I'll see you then. Bye for now.